Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. For this video, we're going to be going over a database update. So the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, or SDSGC.GG website, which is run by homie JJ, who I work with there all the time to get the tier list updated, etc., recently reached out to me and said, hey, I got an interview coming up with Netmarble and I need to discuss some things with you and talk to you about what to say and what we want to feel as a player base so we can pass that on to the dev team. So because of that, we have an interview that's actually just got posted on the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross forums, and I'm going to be going over the actual interview and talking about that. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so starting today, we decided to shed some spotlight on the impressive fan sites operated by the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. The first one's going to be highlighted is SCSGC.GG. If you don't know what that website is, guys, of course, it's the database website that we all can use that has all the nice little cosmetics that I partner with JJ, and has the tier list that I work on every single week here. All that stuff really here. So I'm very excited about this forum update here. So we've had the pleasure to hold an interview with the owner of the site, JJ. Please introduce yourself. Hey, my name's JJ. I'm the creator of the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross website, database web for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, the mobile game. Playing the online games for 13 years. I've been making websites for about 3 years now. Please tell us briefly about the database. SDSGC.GG is a tool for players to learn more about the game and experiment with different units and teams. Gacha games have always been a marathon, not a sprint. How you choose to spend your resources over time is one of the biggest determining factors in how successful you are over a long term, of course. I love providing tools for gamers able to strategize and make well-informed decisions on how to spend their resources in these games. I put a lot of effort into making sure the information presented on the website is accurate, even if I don't always hit the mark when translations are involved. Yeah. We actually have an entire channel on Discord for JJ, specifically on my Discord, just so whenever there's something that's wrong, we just put it in that channel, and then I have to DM him to make sure he saw it, and he's like, yes, I got it. Okay, I'll put it in there. I'm like, cool. So there's a whole thing that goes on behind the scenes here. It's pretty fun. I put a lot of effort in making sure the information. Okay, wait, it was where are we at? I also make sure the players I collaborate with for features like the teams and tier lists are high-level knowledgeable. Oh! I have no idea who that would be. A big shout out. Oh, look at that. A big shout out to Sekapoko, not only for curating these features on SCSGC.GG, but also creating incredible guides for the community since day one. Thank you, Jay. Love you. Hope you have a great day, man. What inspired you to make the website? Well, besides before I really loved the game, for first few gifts, I saw it on the subreddit back when it not even launched in Japan. I knew the game was going to be something special. Yeah, so JJ had actually been playing on the JP version initially, and the SGSGC.GG website, by the way, it was the original website we used for the database, and then JJ kind of quit the game about a month, 2 months into the game, just so he could play the global version, and then that's about a month after that, that's when the GC database started, and that's when that came in, and then right before global launched, I got together with Aoki and JJ and put them together so that the two websites was linked to each other. I was like, yo, you guys, we got to get these together and get these websites to link to each other so we can have a lot of people doing that. So that's why they're all boom, good fun times there. I knew this game was going to be something special. Compared to the rest of the games on the market, there's nothing that comes close to the level, quality, of passion that was put into creating 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, and I really hope it sets a standard for what future mobile games should look like and feel like. I agree on that part. They feel good, they look good, there's a lot of fun things happening in there, and it's a great game. Another big reason I created the website back in June of last year was to provide a way for English-speaking players who were playing the Japanese version to get the most out of their experience. Exactly, yeah. It was a ridiculous amount of work to translate everything from Japanese to English and create the database. It very much was. But I had a lot of help from this game's awesome community and Discord who made it all worth it in the end. Yeah, so Korean Jesus, myself, not myself. Actually, I didn't really help early on in the translations. I only helped much later, probably about 2 months in the game. And there was a lot of other people that were involved on the Reddit Discord that were very, very passionate about getting these things done. And we all collaborated to get this done eventually to get really good information out to people. And there was a lot of mistranslations that we had and things that were not perfect. And it was partly because there were wrong translations in the game. and things that did not work out. A good example is Green King's passive, for some reason, did not have the doubles the critical chance at max ultimate in the game. It was actually not in the game at all on launch. So everyone thought that it was just 50% extra crit chance, but we didn't realize that it was actually 100% extra crit chance at max ultimate. So that wasn't actually in the game on launch, and we had to actually change the translation, put it on the database, and make sure that everyone knew that was the case. Did you end up making the website or yourself, or have a lot of help there? Well, basically, yeah, he did it all himself, I'm guessing. I handled the development side entirely on my home, but data gathering was a truly community-wide effort. Yeah, there's a lot of information on the database that he puts on there from other content creators, not just myself, that is really good resources for people to just, play the game well. From the moment the game went live in Japan, hundreds of players were providing translations, guides, and everyday feedback. Yeah, there was an the original guide by Anton and Datora that was really, really good, that helped a lot of players start. I have that. I think that was one of my original guides for 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I think it was my first guide for the game, and it was probably the best one. I had partnered with them to do a translate, like a YouTube video of that game version initially. So that was a very, very helpful guide for the JP version. I can't overstate how the main Discord server community was the creation of the website. Oh yeah, there's actually a couple of Discords now. That's just really cool. Since you're quite a lone player among the fans, at which point do you think the database generates interest of other players? I don't think I'm very well known amongst the player base. I like to keep a low profile. Yeah, I bring him up every so often, but typically, for some reason, people think I'm the owner of the database. I've always said JJ's the owner of the database, and this is like, I don't know. But I'm very thankful that the website is. Yeah, I try to make the website popular as possible and then tell people all about it as much as I can. So if you haven't checked it, of course, link in the description below if you haven't checked it out. It's the other version of the GC database. GC database has all the Japanese stuff, whereas this has all the global-based stuff. And I partner with JJ to get all the cosmetics and stats and stuff on like the monthly basis. So like if there's something missing on there, please let us know in the Discord. There's actually a specific channel in my Discord, link in the description below if you something is wrong. I think what attracts players is having a centralized tool that can be easily digested all the game has to offer. Due to the nature of mobile games, it's much easier to navigate through a well-designed and fast website to learn about all the characters in the games and features. A lot of players are also looking for a reliable tier list to help them when making their decisions, such as what characters to invest in and pull for. Yeah, so when we build the tier list, it's really based on, for the vast majority of players, it's definitely not for the top 1% of players or top 3% of players, I would even say, because those players will have a much different experience playing the game than the other 97% that are just starting out or possibly in the middle of their games grind, or like they're not pushing for the top 100 of PvP or top 1% of PvP or something like that. So it's a different player bracket that would be we have a value set for the tier list there. Any new features you're planning to add to the site? I don't have anything announced at the moment, but I'm always looking to add new features and enhance the game experience. I'm actually talking about something right now with JJ about something we're going to add to the site, so that might come soon. Spoiler, that's cool. So that's going to be cool. I'm always looking for new features. As the game evolves, so the website. Our latest two features are the list of teams for each game mode and the list of cosmetics for each character. That's the last time we got to do hard work on the database and do everything. And just adding the AOT collab stuff, by the way, that took like, I'm gonna say like 45 minutes just to getting all the data organized and getting it to him so that he could put all the cosmetics in, make sure the aesthetics were there, getting the game files so that they could be featured on the website. Like getting all that is tricky, and then putting it on the website is a whole other matter. We were heavily requested by the community to have the improvement super useful. If anyone has an idea for the new future, I'm always happy to hear it. You can always let him know in the Discord if that's the best place that I've found to get a hold of him in general. If you wanted to let him know, my Discord has this channel for him. You can just let him put a suggestion there very quickly, and then he will be able to see it eventually, and I'd read it. How long have you been playing 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross? I played it a lot when I first launched in Japan and last year when I built the website. The language barrier was a bit too much and I ended up taking a break from the global until global launch. I'm playing ever since. Yeah, basically what I said earlier. Compared to the other games, what do you think is the most attractive feature of 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross? I think the presentation of the game is the first thing that attracts the games. It really does feel like you're playing an anime and playing the anime and experiencing a complete story. The art and animation are very impressive. They're much better than Season 3. The game also does a great job at making you feel like you're constantly progressing, getting stronger in meaningful, engaging ways. I mean, that may not be true for like super endgame players like myself and a lot of other people who are like pushing it to very, very endgame, But for the vast majority of players, yes, it does. Especially when you're starting out, the variety of characters, the story, the combat system, etc. There's so much content to unlock and play through before you reach the end game. Exactly. End game is a little different, but I agree for the most part. I think that players continue to play day after day, and the game is very rewarding for every type of player. There are tons of content rewards for competitive players. They want to flex their skills, and others a new story, which is constantly added for players that love the anime. And there's always fun new units to experiment with. This is true, but that's not a free-to-play experience, unfortunately. What's your favorite hero? There's only one correct answer. Lord Twigo, confirmed. Kabuki fan, I see, JJ. I see. All right, what's your favorite PvP team right now? I like the teams that go against the meta. Me too. Maybe something like the old school blue Ellihawk, red Gother, and red Arthur with red Skinny King in the backline of kind of mono red teams of playing the new escort. I believe someone named Sekapoko ran that comp in a team. I believe that was a thing. Oh. It's a good guy. Which game mode or content do you find most entertaining? Even though I can find it very difficult with when new powerful units are added and I have it unlocked, the PvP is the most entertaining because it's simply of how different every match feels. Nothing beats the rush of knowing you're going up against a fellow player. Yeah, that's true. What is the best moment in the game? That moment probably goes to pulling Green Escort up my last remaining gems when he finally came out. I really enjoyed the game, the character in the anime, and I had to quit the Japanese version before he came out, so I have been looking forward to him for a very long time. Probably 8-9 months then. What do you think of the current meta in Seven Deadly Sins? The current meta? Okay, I think it's a good place. I don't. A lot of people don't, but I made a video about that. But it's only a minute long, if you know what I mean. It feels like every popular team has a viable counter. This is true. Okay, so like the trifecta meta is a kind of relevant meta, and it's fine. I do like that it is a thing, but like it changes pretty soon, so I'm kind of like worried about that. All right. I also want to give you huge props to the developers of the game for having the foresight to release units in a way that results in a much healthier meta than we saw in other versions of the game. To be perfectly honest, if you did not play the Japanese version, you do not know how strong Pierce was. Nog and I had talked about that in a previous podcast. Pierce was a stupid freaking meta. If you didn't have it, you literally just skipped PvP for like an entire month. It was very strong. So the fact that Valenti came first and then Pierce came made a much healthier experience for the game, even though people really just wanted to dominate with Pierce. Imagine having a team that you literally, it would be like CC Wars, right? It is right now in PvP. It's whoever goes first meta in PvP right now, because if you have all the best units in the game, whoever has the most CC goes first and wins. Should it always be like that? I don't know, man. That's I don't know if that's fun. It results in a much healthier meta than we saw in other versions of the game. Releasing Valenti before Blue Demon Lotus and Blue Lily, delaying the release of Red Hellbrum for many months, were two examples come to mind. I definitely love the delay on Red Hellbrum. That was key. Thank you, Netmarble. That was a good choice. Delaying Red Hellbrum, sorry Darkskin, was awesome, okay? I'm sorry, it was amazing. I hated the Kingbrim meta. And again, going back to the JP version, what happened with the Kingbrim meta was there was literally an entire month, if you didn't run Kingbrim, you were literally getting crapped on the entire time. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Kingbrim had a bug in his kit that made it so that instead of it was a 20% buff on his launch, for about a week and a half, I think it was, he was a 40% buffed unit instead of a 20% buffed unit. So he was literally like one-tapping people with his 3 stars. It was disgusting. So yeah, that was not fun. Okay. Thanks a lot for the opportunity to interview. The criticism that you give toward the game comes from a place of caring and we wanting this game to be the best it can be. We love playing your game, so thanks for making it. Thanks for listening to involving your community. Well, I guess they are kind of listening. They're reaching out to different people. They're not reaching out to content creators as much. They're reaching more out to fan site creators, and I think they're trying to branch out in the community versus branch out to different content creators like YouTubers, streamers, etc. And they're going for fan site creators at this point. They might go for content creators in the future. I heard that Alex and Diaz have been contacted for some other things that they want to do in the website. I don't know if that actually got that happened, but maybe it did. We'll see. We also plan to introduce more fan sites and groups going forward. If you happen to have an operative fan site, fan group, or channel about the game, I do Netmarble. I'd love to do something with you. Just contact me. I have an email. It's in the description below. So I'm excited about this. This is really cool. JJ is a really cool guy. I'm really happy that he was able to get this interview, get everything out. I can't believe I got a shout out in this freaking interview. That's awesome. So thank you, JJ. Much love. Hope you're having a great day. My name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, like and subscribe. All the fun stuff. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.